let's talk about the kitchen that you built. For those who haven't been lucky enough to go to Stone Barns, and I haven't yet, it's really like you built sort of your dream place, did you not? I mean, what's the philosophy behind it? And with Blue Hill, like how would you describe it to someone who doesn't know what it is?
Well, the Stone Barns farm, Mr. Rockefeller built it. I should be very clear about this. Mr. Rockefeller built me my dream kitchen. Yeah, I mean, the kitchen in the sense that it's in the middle of a farm. So it's in a working farm that's creative and visionary. And so I get to use these products that, are in my mind the future of good food. And so I'm a very, very fortunate chef. And, Mr. Rockefeller sort of touched me and my brother, who's my business partner, my sister-in-law, who's also my business partner and designer. And we just we've taken that and run with it. But really it's about Mr. Rockefeller wanting a restaurant near his home and a place that showed off what could be the potential of great food.
But what about the philosophy behind it? If you were going to sort of say to somebody why it's a different experience than any restaurant in the city.
Well, physically, it's a difference because you're in the middle of a farm, so it's a farm to table. But really, it's about supporting this sort of community around preserving open space that dials back to my grandmother, and that's what Mr. Rockefeller wanted too. Very much in the way my grandmother did. He didn't want to pass away and see this zone for 52 housing lots, which it was. And it's 35 miles from where we're sitting, so it's extraordinary to pull off the highway and sort of drive through Vermont is what his family has preserved. So it's this extraordinary preservation undertaking. But then at the same time, it's also like a look into the future of where we could go with food if we want to, and if we have the drive and the knowledge and the passion for it. So that's what that's why I wrote the book and why I'm involved with this. Make it nutritious, make it delicious. Otherwise, it doesn't get passed down. That's the story of agriculture, of farming, is deliciousness. If it wasn't delicious, it wasn't passed along. And so you're right. They became a metaphor for the book because I realized that we just don't have that in America. We're a land of abundance. We always were. From day one, we were considered gross in our wastefulness, in our use of resources, in our disgusting plates of food that Europeans were offended by, and that was based on rich soil that America had and temperate climates and rainfall, and we've never really actually left that history, which is amazing to think. But part of our when we talk about the bad food culture of America, it dates back to abundance. And we just never were forced into what Europeans and peasant Chinese and peasant Indians and peasant everyone had to deal with. And from that hardship and struggle came beautiful cuisine that's lasted thousands of years. We don't have that history. And what we need to do is figure out how to inculcate a pattern of eating that really reflects the landscape and not the whims of the day, the paleo diet, the juicing, the thing. It's not what the land can produce over time, and that's the true lesson of these cuisines and the true definition of sustainability. Is how do we last for not this generation, but for our children's children?